The ordinance of the Oglala Tribal Council amending ordinance 9704, the safety belt ordinance. Motion.
Okay, got a motion, second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller. James Cross. Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon. Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbad.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
14 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, the third one is the resolution of the Oglala Tribal Council of the Oglala Tribe authorizing the Oglala Tribe to request an extension on its existing Bureau of Indian Affairs PL 93-638 contracts for both the operations of law enforcement and corrections. Motion.
I got a motion, second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbad.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
Fourteen yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Okay, the last one is the hemp ordinance 98-27 and 19-13. Motion.
Second.
I have a motion, second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
Randy Laisbad.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
Fourteen yes, unanimous, motion carried. Anything else, Councilwoman Bearkiller? Is that everything, Tribal Council? Councilman Cross.
Just one issue, but it's the Stephen Haynes team. They're here on the reservation. They flew in. They were to come and meet with Tribal Council and just kind of do like a meet and greet out to Wombly, but because of the schedule change with Tribal Council, they decided to go visit Wounded Knee District, Medicine Root, Pass Creek, Lake Creek, Eagle Nest. I think there was a couple other districts on their list, but they will be here sometimes around 4 o'clock. So if we put them under your office, sir. Voting agenda item. Yeah. Yeah, motion to
I got a
prepare them up.
motion. I mean, I'll put them under my office, but if you want a motion. Motion, second by Councilman Apple. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
President, is that going to be a floating item, so it could be moved up out of your office too?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Jackie Sears. Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. Randy Laisbad.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
14 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Councilman Apple?
I have an agenda item to two-thirds on that's, I'd like to put, Bernie Rosane Herrera for transportation. on the agenda, motion?
I got a motion, second by Councilman Jumping Eagle. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, or Councilman Wilson?
I think we may just want to give her the floor so she ain't sitting here till the 2/3 items. That's what that way she ain't sitting here till, who knows whenever the 2/3 will be.
We can give her the floor as soon as we approve the agenda. Is that good?
That would be good.
Okay. So you withdraw your motion?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Anything further, Tribal Councilman Jumping Eagle?
So I don't see the chair, vice chair, education committee, but they have one. I'll do it for them. It's the resolution accepting resignation of Sonia Little House West and motion.
I got a motion, second by Councilman Leisbad. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon, Cora Whitehorse, yes, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Leesbeth,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
14 yes, unanimous, motion carried. And the education chair is gonna be late, her car broke down. Councilman Apple and then Councilman Tapia.
For the land committee, we have 5 items I'd like to introduce. First one being resolution of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe allowing the Ogallala District Government to assume responsibility to ensure that the residents of Dow Village and Ogallala, South Dakota maintain the upkeep of the lots upon which their mobile homes occupy. Motion.
second,
I got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Tapia. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse, yes, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chauncey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Leesbeth,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Fifteen. Oh, correction, 13-1. Next item.
The next item is the ordinance of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe demanding that the Ogallala Sioux Tribe Public Safety Commission and the Ogallala Parks and Recreation Program assign 2 individuals each to assume the duties of livestock brand inspectors. Motion.
Got a motion, second by Councilman Gibbons. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Jackie Sears,
Yeah.
Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse, yes, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Bo Little White Man, sorry, Chauncey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Leesbeth,
Go.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Ten yes, 4 no, motion carried. Next item.
The third item is ordinance of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe stating that all unbranded livestock 2 years or younger upon Pine Ridge Reservation shall become the property of the Ogallala Sioux Tribe. Motion.
I got a motion,
I'll second it.
second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
All unbranded.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
No.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Yeah.
Vincent Tulance,
No.
Craig Gillen,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Laisvin,
No.
Robin Capia.
Yes.
Oh, even, there's branded ones on the roads.
Livestock, that is a brand.
With the ordinance, is that? It's in your packet.
Is that it, Garfield, or plan? Oh, you don't want one? Last time I taught school, it was anyway.
Eight yes, 6 no, motion failed.
Yes.
Is that it, Councilman?
No, I got another one here. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe authorizing the Oglala Sioux Parks Fish, Wildlife and Recreation Program to submit a recontracting application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs of 39-638 contract for the year 2020-2023. Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Gillen,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Laisvin,
Yes.
Robin Capio.
Yes.
14 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Next item.
Next item will be resolution to approve option to exercise a joint venture agreement between Oglala Sioux Tribe and Vandenized Metals Corporation of 1541 Northeast 21 Avenue, North Miami Beach, Florida. Motion.
Got a motion on the floor,
Second.
second by Councilman Dillon. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Piya.
Vincent Tulance,
Yes.
Craig Gillen,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man, Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Laisvin,
No.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
Yes, 3 no, motion carried.
The last one, Mr. President, is resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving Morrison and Marley wastewater system preliminary engineering reports, plan of action, qualifications, and the contracted scope of services, and to proceed with the PERs for the water and sewer program. Motion to.
Got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulens,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Brian Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow,
Oh.
Randy Leesbeck,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
Fourteen yes, unanimous, motion carried. Is that it, Councilman Apple?
That's it.
Councilwoman Tapia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I received a text message from my district president saying that under the president's agenda items were supposed to be motor fuels from the Crazy Horse Planning Commission. Is that right?
Correct, they're supposed to have, their secretary is supposed to have draft the resolution or the documentation that the commission put forward. I haven't received those yet.
Oh, okay.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Councilman Gibbons?
Thank you, President. On the agenda items, it says report is ambulance service on that report. Very good.
You got a motion to approve by Councilman Whitehorse, second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulens.
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Leesbeck.
Yes.
Robin Tapia.
Yes.
14 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Councilman Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I got a couple district members that would like the floor. I don't care, Melanie or Bernie. I think either, they got different issues, but they both would like the floor.
Okay, we'll yield some time.
Yield the time to one of them, Bernie.
Yes, just you push the button in the middle, turn the mic on, and then introduce yourself for the record, please.
Hi, my name's Bernie Rosane Herrera. I'm a resident of the Medicine Root District. I live off of BIA 17, which connects to BIA 15. I come to you guys hoping that we can get something done about the roads down there. The road is really, really bad. We have a lot of little district roads out there. North Route is gravel, No Flesh is paved, but our American Horse Road is just dirt. Bus drivers can't get through there. I've been to district meetings for years. This has been a complaint of mine for the past 10 years. And I'm hoping coming here we'll get something done with that road because the buses can't get through there. We talk about kids needing education and everything, and the kids miss so many days because the buses can't get there. Everybody talks about elders when they're getting their votes in. We've got elders that live on that road that have no access should they get sick. The ambulance can't get out there. Our elders have to go live someplace else because the roads are so bad. So that is why I'm here today, because our councilmen are here from our district reps, and they've heard me many times. And I'm just hoping that there's something that can be done here, some sort of resolution or whatever that puts American Horse Road as a priority. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
I just have a comment to that. We did pass on council to put American Horse Creek Road. Remember that? I don't remember which council meeting that was. It was in Porcupine. And that's on the James. Maybe James could answer that. James, when we brought that resolution for the American Horse Creek Road, what was when will that happen?
Chair,
Councilman Frost?
just to answer his question, we took action to put that road on her because it's been a concern for quite some time. It's a heavy traffic road, and it's a BIA road, and we did, if I recall, the action we took was to put that on our tips. And so we did, there was added on her, and I think we need to look at bringing in, whenever we have issues like this, I think we should have our directors here to answer these questions that we got. Because I know a lot of times we take action and we debate it amongst ourselves, and without the appropriate people being here, I think it would help answer a lot of these questions that we have. Because I know we could take all the action we want, but if it isn't going anywhere, then I think we're just, we're just spinning our wheels. And so we do have a meeting again, and EBD committee's been setting these meetings up for quite some time now with the transportation department. And we had a meeting last Friday and our previous Friday, and we anticipated a lot of employees there under transportation, and also the Craigslist Planning Commission and EBD committee. But when we had the meeting, there was hardly anybody there. And so when we do set these meetings up like this, I think they should be mandatory so that all the players are there. And so I'm kind of frustrated with it too, but I think we still have to keep addressing our concerns with our roads. On October 4th, we have another meeting set up that I think Porcupine's hosting, right, Philip? We're working on that. If not, then we'll find a place to accommodate everybody. And I think it was also made in that motion that all of transportation people be there, the roads people, that it'll be mandatory. And I think somebody even added to that there'll be no travel on that day. And so the executive director's office will also be in attendance. And so that's just one solution for this big problem that we're trying to address. And so American Horse Creek has always been a concerned road all the way up to the county line. I know county's been kind of dealing with their stuff too, but BIA, that department, there's really been having problems with personnel, hiring people. And so they're really short manpower. And so, but we'll take care of this on the 4th again, and I hope it works out for everybody. So hopefully I answered some of your questions.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, we'll just welcome everybody here today, our audience, and, transportation, our roads have been a problem for years as far as I've been on council. And I think that meeting that you're planning to address this issue, I think we need to have public forum now, let our people come and address their issues, because we say we meet and then we don't hear from them. So they don't know we're meeting. They don't know what's going on in these meetings. So I think that they should have a radio station or, the KOLC videotaping it so people are aware of what's being discussed. We had our district meeting last night, and I want to say that we have tribal members that came to the meeting addressing roads, and they have a lot of solutions. So I'm kind of, if this happens, I want to invite them there because they have the knowledge of paving roads. They have, we're spending so much money paying contractors to come in, and that's what's eating up the dollars for these roads. So I think we have capable people that are willing to come forward. In our district, we had some there last night, and they know how to operate these machineries. But it's just our tribe. We need to look at something different and start purchasing equipment so we can start doing our own roads. So I think we need to get that information out there so we can make it so everybody can attend and have input. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Cross, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, a while back, we had, there's a gravel pit north of Kyle. And we've been fighting this gravel pit for a long time. trying to enforce our weight limits, our motor carrier code. And I think the motor carrier code, sir, falls under your, I think the ball's in your court. And I think it's kind of, it'd be kind of up to your office to enforce our motor carrier code or to do the assignments, because that gravel pit north of Kyle, when they were hauling gravel out of there, and they went up through American Horse Creek, I don't know, maybe 1,500 loads of gravel or something, and ripped that road apart. And so it's really, we could really get a handle on it, because they can travel the roads too, even if they're under weight limit or if they're over, regardless, they have that right to be on the public roads. But yet they used that road and they ripped it up. And so I think ever since then, the people that live on that road really have been experiencing, really bad washboard and potholes, etc. So all we could do is just sit down with our program directors and try to bring them to the table and see what type of plan with that. I don't think we should be getting mad at anybody or pointing fingers or anything. I just think we need to work together. So I just want to bring that to attention too, because I think that mitigation plan, the motor carrier code really needs to be enforced.
Thank you, Councilman Cross. Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Thank you. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the tip list. We added all these extra roads as priorities to our inventory, but because of the funding formula, we didn't get additional funding. And we, as a council, have to figure out how to request more funding for our roads. Because I'm hoping people have volunteered to come to TBEC, and so I'm glad, because we need more representation there. Right now, Dave has been working on the formula with Dakota Long Break and some tribes from Montana, and but we need that funding formula changed, because as it is right now under road maintenance, we have so many roads, but we don't get funded for them. There's smaller tribes. There's one tribe in California who has 5 miles of interstate and gets 10 times more money than we do. That is totally not fair, especially when they only have 35 members. So we need to help Dave and the transportation team in DC to come up with a different formula. Because right now, without the extra money, we're stretching what we have, and dollars are only so elastic.
Thank you, Councilwoman Tapio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Like Jackie said, James, everybody, we've been dealing with this for 10 years, and we do need to think something, we need to try something different. What I'd like to recommend is that we get our districts involved, because we have 9 districts. And right now, with it just being a tribal program, we're not getting anywhere. I think if we get the district involved and let each district, let's give each district the chance to fix their own roads, I've been saying that for 4 years now, but I think it's time to take a good look at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Apple.
Wounded Knee District has the same problem every district has. I think that we only have so much equipment to spread out over a wide, big area. And Motor Fuels is doing their best to get to each road, and you have councilmen saying they're not doing anything. Well, they are doing something out in Wounded Knee District, and I'm sure all the other districts. So I'd like to go to that meeting you proposed and have our leaders come to that meeting to possibly find a better solution for our roads. Not only American Horse, but all through the Wounded Knee District. When it floods, our roads are really flooding over now. So when it floods, and it floods real easy now, we need to clean those culverts. We have, at that meeting on the agenda, to look for monies to do that. All our culverts in the reservation are clogged up, so it causes flooding. So, Wounded Knee District people, our executive board, if you are listening to this, when the meeting's set up, we need to go. I'll go with you to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Apple. I don't see Melanie. I'm gonna go out and find Melanie, but at this time I'll call forward Mr. Olson from Golden West, wants to give the council a quick update.
Good afternoon. Thanks for giving me a little bit of time just to give you an update on Fiber to the Home project for Pine Ridge. Something you're probably pretty familiar with after seeing all of the construction work and all that nonsense going on around the village. So, as you recall, we had construction in the spring, lots of construction. We got through that very fast, and now we're in the process of what's called a cutover. So a cutover means that we'll be cutting over the fiber rock or the old copper line going into your home, cutting it over to a fiber optic line. And we're about 60%, nearing 60% complete with that. We hope to be done with the entire project first quarter of 2020. And at that point in time, Pine Ridge Village will be 100% fiber to the home, which is a wonderful, wonderful technology platform for the community. It's a platform that's really going to future-proof Pine Ridge for several decades to come. So I just wanted to give you a brief update about that. I also wanted to tell you that Golden West is having its annual meeting in a wall this Saturday. It starts at 1 o'clock. The meeting starts at 1 o'clock, but the lunch starts, I think, as early as 10:30, if I remember correctly. So you're welcome to come up to that. Find me, if you would. I would appreciate it. And then hopefully I'll see you there. The last thing I wanted to mention too is that Golden West is a cooperative, as many of you know. So, like all cooperatives, they try to give money back for all the services that you've used and paid for over the years. And that coincides with our annual meeting as well. I'm here to also give the tribe its capital credit checks. There's lots of different entities within this envelope. It's a significant amount of money. I'll leave that up to you all to talk about that maybe at a later point, but I just wanted to thank you all for your patronage. Thank you very much for all that you do with us, and we hope we're doing a good job for you. And I'll address any questions that anybody has.
No questions? Okay, I got, you have to leave. your
Well,
report's done.
yeah.
Because like, we can't get a hold of the treasurer and he has those checks, I don't know, maybe we give them to the finance chair? Okay, yeah.
To who?
Oh, he's in his office, never mind.
To
If
the
you go up and see
revenue.
the treasurer, he'll get you a receipt for those.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Councilman Wilson?
I wasn't for Golden West, I just had one more district member that wanted the floor.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Miss Janice?
Hello, council. Most of you know me. My name is Melanie Janice. I'm here with Betty, and also Connie's here. We have a little problem with housing and where they're trying to place these 5 houses at St. Barnabas Church. And we did have Betty filed a complaint and a petition to go in front of HHS. That was completely bypassed and that was pushed through council.
On May 15th.
This was done in May. It was brought, it was sent to HHS, it was never even considered. Connie brought it to our attention that there's 150 acres close to town that can be utilized for these housing. In discussing it with several people that have done research on the land, a lot of it wasn't done. This used to be a church. There's rumored that there's graves on the southwest corner. So there's time to move this. There's no room for growth. Chauncey's been up there. It's a zigzag mess. But there's 150 acres that can be utilized close to town that the district can approve to use. So I don't think this was very well thought out in growth on these housing. I wish all of you would go out there and take a look at it. I understand the need for housing, but I also understand the dire need for jobs. We are in need of housing, but it's like we're being threatened and bullied that we're going to lose these houses. It could take a few minutes for us to go to HHS and say, give us our complaints. Hear us out on why we don't think this will work here. How are you going to build 10 more homes there? We'll have to go through another infrastructure again. There's a lot of tribal land out there that can be used. And they keep saying it went through district members. It didn't go through a lot of us that it would be directly impacted. The meetings were held at 10:30 in the morning. We can't get a hold of anybody at housing. We weren't even given the opportunity to go in front of HHS.
In my letter to housing dated May 15th, 2019, in the letter, all I wanted was for housing to relocate these 5 houses. I mean, duh, we all know we need houses. It's not that we didn't want those houses in Little Moon community. That's our community. If you didn't grow up on the res, if you don't, whatever, that's your SOL. I'm gonna die on the Finance Reservation. That's my home. And we don't appreciate, look at the history of housing. Look at, no sidewalks. Everybody's accepted that now. No car parks, not even any driveway. Look at the road conditions. Is that what we want? No, that's all we're saying is there are other tribal lands. This is for our youth around St. Barnabas. Maybe we want to grow hemp. That's the agriculture. They would farm something in that strip there. Maybe that's what we want to do. We're going to make our own bricks and build our own hemp houses. You watch. That's a very viable economic development location. That's why housing is fighting tooth and nail for it. It's near the road. It has water and electricity. No, we know that. So we just have to get it together now. I mean, Melanie's busy, I'm busy, whatever. Finally, we can get together and we can actually do something. We're both born and raised there, Melanie and I, in that community. So now we're going to do something. She started a food bank there. We need a community building where we can have wakes and funerals. The Catholic Hall is very nice, but I've heard words back about them complaining if you're not non-Catholic. So, oh well, so we need our own building. It basically is all we're saying. So find, somebody do their homework. There's other land available. There's enough to lease to leasers for cows. There's enough land to, tribal land to lease for, to grow agricultural stuff. There's land for housing, believe me. And we think housing needs to be restructured. Why are we stuck on cluster housing? People, there's still landowners. The land buyback try to buy everybody out, but no. Some people hung on to their land. What's wrong with building houses on their land? What's wrong with that? Council, get out of your little boxes. When your workshop, in your workshops, go to a housing workshop or something on. I see Lakota Fund has magazines, all kinds of housing information. Yeah, build different types of houses. Holy cow, those houses at Sharp's Corner or Kili, holy, skyscraper, 2-level. Anyway, Council, appreciate your time, but that's all we want is for them to find somewhere else to build these houses.
And at least give us a chance to do the environmental impact, to find out what's there. That wasn't given, we were bullied into it. It's just gonna go there. There's other lands. Connie's made it perfectly clear. The empowerment zone is no longer in effect, that you could take that land. That's where it should go. It's close to town. It's just the area. Chelsea's been there. What was on the blueprint and what is being there is two different things. So all I'm saying is we want a chance to, anybody's afforded the right to have a hearing and to have their say. We live there. We want to say.
Thank you. Councilman Jumping Eagle?
Okay, so there were meetings held at the district, whether they were 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know the complaint, the list of people. How many district members we have in Medicine? About 5,000? Or huh? Close, yeah. And there was 16 people on that list. It did come to HHS. All you guys who are on HHS committee, that came through HHS. And you know, and I don't know, it's 100% tribal ground. You guys know before they build, there's all these studies that are done, the environmental studies, everything. So all that was done. Ernie came to the district with the blueprints. It passed through the district. Now it passed through tribal council twice. And we ain't threatening them or say we're gonna lose the houses. We are gonna lose the houses. And to my understanding, I wasn't on last term, Chancey was, but we lost 5 houses that time, 2 terms ago. And we're gonna lose them again. So I'm gonna keep my position. You know, I hear their concerns, but our community, we cannot lose these houses.
And bringing up, only 16 of us signed that petition, but there's 16 of us, that was not only a few of us that live there. There were only 11 who passed that through district council at that district meeting. And we asked them to hold it back till we can talk to HHS. I still think we should be afforded the right to speak to HHS. This is a forever permanent thing.
I did speak to a couple of people who live south of Kyle, and they were perfectly fine with it. One was an elder, at least all 3 of them were elders. You know, they said, we do, our community does need housing, we need housing. You know, and I spoke with Melody about a week ago, and she said, and I told her, I said, I live out in North Rock, that's where I grew up. They put a lot of houses out there. We didn't have a say-so, you know. We didn't throw a fit because they were going to put houses out there. You know, we knew our community needed houses. And so I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to support our 5 houses coming to Kyle.
It's not the fact that I threw a fit, it's the fact that the process that was done to get where we're at.
Councilman Little White Man?
You know, if housing has this environmental study that was done, was said to be done, can that be brought forward? I'm gonna bring it.
Councilman Wilson?
Maybe we could have Cecilia and maybe the chair and vice chair meet with these guys. And I know they're already moving some dirt and stuff out there, but I drove up there last night, met with Melanie, and it's kind of screwy how the houses are sitting, but I don't want to lose the houses either. The construction worker did put their trailer house right in front of the door of that food bank, and I think they need to work with Melanie and the community to at least be a little more courteous of what they're trying to do inside the church, the hall there. I guess the church is burnt down, but within the hall there. But maybe Miss Fire Thunder and Valerie's gone, but maybe Ryan and them can get with Melanie and Betty and address some of these concerns.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson. I agree. I think, you know, if those are the entities that are all involved, so I feel like they should sit down and come to some sort of agreement and bring it back. Also, I'll acknowledge Councilwoman Merdanian at 1447. Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, you know, this is the thing that we always talk about. We never go back to our districts and have a forum. There should always be an announcement and people know what's going on and they will have a say, but we don't. We just make decisions, and this is why we get the public coming in to address their concerns, because they didn't have that chance to ask these questions in committee. They didn't have a chance to address what the issues they're facing out with that land. So I think if there's a possibility of any kind of halting on the construction, that housing would probably work. You know, like you said, meet with Cecilia Chansey and with this group, and then meet with HHS, because there's stuff that I didn't hear about either. I'm hearing that there's no environmental impact done on the property also, because I'm hearing there's grave sites from the elders that were around that area. So I think we really need to step back and look at it, and I'm not in favor of them losing their homes out there, because they do need them in that district, but I think they also need to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sears. Councilwoman Merdanian, and then Councilman Jumping.
Good afternoon. So in regards to this issue and the concern, I know council took action to pass those homes in that area. So council did take the action. So it's up to this body to go ahead and, I would say, table any further action until that meeting happens in HHS, because that's where it needs to be hashed out. So I'd like to make that motion that these construction get tabled until that meeting does happen and the proper channels are taken, such as the review of the land and the historical site and all of that information with all the stakeholders. That's my motion.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilwoman Merdanian, second by Councilwoman Sears. Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Thank you. But last time they brought it to council, they told us that they had already done the studies, and that if they didn't start the construction, we were going to lose the houses in tile.
I actually spoke to a man in Denver the other day. No, the houses won't be lost.
And that came from, I believe it was John Haas and Ernie Little. Because they had done so much research and whatever preparing to build those houses, that they told us that we would lose those houses in Kyle because it was a part of their plan.
Yeah.
That was why we took action to approve it.
So when I called up there, that's not the way it is, because I spoke to
Who was
them.
it that you talked to?
Mr. Willis, I believe his name is,
Willis?
at Urban Development in Denver.
I don't remember him, but that was, I just don't think we should lose any houses on that side of the res.
We won't lose houses. There's another whole 150 acres there from the food hut on.
Because of the money that they had already spent. That's what we were told. That was why we took that action.
Right, but they didn't do anything but move the dirt so far. And I think it's at least worth hearing it out in HHS. Anywhere else, you're at least allowed a hearing and to be able to say, this is how it's gonna impact us. What are the future? You can't add on to that place. You can't put extra homes on there. Well, so where is the infrastructure on that?
Councilman Jumping Eagle.
So I'll say it again, there were hearings at the district. But I just got off the phone with Ernie, he said all them studies are done, so I told him, Melanie, you're probably coming out there to look at them, and he's gonna get them ready. The environmental study, everything, he said that's all been done, so he'll have them ready out to housing, Ernie.
Councilwoman Barry Killer.
I guess, these, units that we're talking about are not HUD, slated or HUD monies. We supported housing with a charter then, and they got a loan and a grant through Wells Fargo. Okay, so this must be about 6 years ago when this came out. And every district was slated 5 units. And all the other districts got their 5 units. Okay, Medicine River had this issue, so they moved those houses from Medicine River into Baseline. But the people out there that were on the list to get the units, they still want those units. And so before Mr. Arncall passed away, he requested that those 5 units be built out there for these people that was slated to get those units. I mean, this is a 6-year history coming, and every year we hear this opposition that's here. But when we gave the districts their authority to zone and to look at where the houses is going to be built, businesses going to be built, all these are going to be built. Davie was on land. You know, those districts came forward and they put those together. And our district has it too. We have a zoning on how much houses and where they're going to be, as long as it's tribal land and we're not taking over allotted land. And so this issue came this far, and like Coram said, it was in front of us by John Haas and the other one, and that's a Wells Fargo loan. And these 5 units should be built because somehow these 5 units are to pay back their own loan. And that's how the loan package was set up. I was a part of Mr. Arncall's last administration when we signed this from Wells Fargo. So HUD has nothing to do with these units. It's a loan, it's like a home ownership loan. So eventually, I think when it's paid off, these people will own those homes. So that's the history of those 5 units. And I know Davey's right here and he's shaking his head. So, you know, this is 6-8 years. And every year we're listening to this, and I feel bad, you know, that they live right there and that's tribal land, but they don't want those units there. I mean, but I have my own land and there's tribal land beside me, and there's things going up there that I don't like, but I can't say nothing because those are the people and the tribe and what they want. So I can't stop it. But, you know, and I'm not against Betty or Melanie or the church. However, there was 5 people that were slated to get homes, and it's 6 years now, and we're still stuck at the same issue. So we gotta look at them 5 people and their homes that were to be built right there. You know, because every district got it. And you know, but if there's like Ryan saying, those people there, everybody needs homes. The districts need homes. To me, I'm just gonna be straight up, you know, we worked on this for 6 years and it came this far and she's trying to, table the resolution and go back to step one or square one, you know? But those people are not here. The people that should get those units are not here. They need homes too. They have children. There's elderlies that were slated to get these units. And they waited 6 years because of this opposition. So I ask you guys not to table it. But, you know, that this progress or this plan was 6 years long. And how much more longer? How much more longer are we going to be waiting on medicine for these 5 families to get their units?
And if that's the case, then how much longer do we have to not be able to express our opinions in front of HHS? There was a complaint, a letter that we asked to be heard before it even got here to this level. And our census, so you say it's 5,000, we had 11 people decide this. And these houses were originally slated for veterans. 5 houses were to be strictly for veterans. And these are houses that they're gonna eventually own, right? Then why don't you put them on their land?
Okay, I got a motion to table in a second by Councilwoman Sears.
I just think we have a right to be
Councilwoman
heard.
Mardanian. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
No.
James Cross, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Toulant,
No.
Craig Dillon,
No.
Cora Whitehorse,
No.
Valentina Mardanian, Brian Jumping Eagle,
No.
Bo Little White Man,
No.
Chancey Wilson,
No.
Philip Goodcrow,
No.
Randy Laisbeth,
No.
Robin Tapio,
Abstain.
Five yes, 9 no, 1 abstain, motion to table failed. Councilwoman Sears?
Yeah, I think that motion was by Valentina. You said it was my motion. I second.
I said I had a motion by Councilwoman Mardanian, second by Councilwoman Sears. Councilman Wilson?
But I think they should still get a chance to go out and visit Cecilia about some of the other stuff, the trailer house in the way of their food pantry and their feeling still they should have that right to get out to housing. And I know Melanie said she called housing several times and nobody answered the phone out there. But there is some concerns with that trailer house. They can't even get in that front door of their building or anything.
I know the chair of HHS is dealing with some stuff with her spouse, but we have the vice chair. Maybe you guys can take care of that, to set that meeting up so all the questions and stuff are answered.
Yeah, and then like I said, Ernie has all them studies available, all the studies that were done out there, so.
Maybe call them, let Cecilia and them know and see if they can sit down with them.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on into the agenda, we have our, anything for the districts, no district stuff? Finance committee?
Attorney interviews?
Yeah, we did, but they texted and said she's not gonna be available from 3 to 4, and it's 3 now.
Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the selection of MetLife for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group term life insurance. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 and under Article 3 of the Constitution. The Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises its legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Section 1L of the Constitution gives the Tribal Council the power to delegate its enumerated powers to subordinate boards or officers, preserving the right to review their actions taken by virtue of such delegated power. And whereas the Finance Committee is the standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council and has been delegated power to oversee financial matters relating to on behalf of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe offers certain benefits for its employees and has authorized the Benefits Committee to solicit, review, and make recommendations for the selection of benefits for the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees. And whereas the Benefits Committee received a proposal from and selected MetLife for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group term life insurance. And whereas on September 6, 2019, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved the selection of MetLife for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group term life insurance and to be forwarded to the Tribal Council for final approval. And whereas the Tribal Council agrees with the foregoing recommendations of the Finance Committee and has determined that it is in the best interest of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees to select MetLife for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group term life insurance. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby approves selection of MetLife for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group term life insurance. Motion to approve.
Got a motion, second by Councilman Goodcrow. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulens,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentino Merdanian, Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow, Randy Langston,
Yes.
Robin Tapio,
Yes.
15 yes, unanimous, motion carried. Councilwoman Weivers, before we continue forward, I apologize, there wasn't a district item from the past district that was skipped, so we're gonna go back to them and we'll run the thing. Councilman Cross? Sorry, Councilwoman Weivers, I know you was on a roll. Councilman Cross?
All right. All right, thank you. A resolution of the Pasco District Executive Committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe unincorporated tribe. Resolution of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee requesting approval of 2014 bond monies in the amount of $1 million for 2019-20 funds for the development of a tribally owned enterprise convenience store for the Pass Creek District due to unmet need emergency related services to benefit our tribal membership. Whereas the Wiconi tribe reorganized under Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 by adopting a federally recognized and approved constitution and bylaws. And whereas under Article 6 of the Tribal Constitution of the Pass Creek District is recognized under its own autonomous local government to look out for the best interests of our tribal membership and other community members who reside within our jurisdiction. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee met in a special session on September 18, 2019, and with a legal quorum present, did discuss the unmet need and emergency-related services for the development of a tribally owned enterprise convenience store that will greatly benefit our tribal membership. Due to the Allen store closure since 2017, and whereas it has become a heavy burden not only the Pass Creek District tribal membership and travelers since the closure of the Allen store in 2017. And whereas it's over 18 miles to the nearest towns of Kyle and Martin for routine emergency medical services, which creates a heavy burden to pay for gas, food, propane, school system traveling, and which transportation is severely limited. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee is aware of bond monies available from 2014 that has remained unspent after being allocated for designated projects that has remained since then held by the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, and the bonding company utilized. And whereas the Pass Creek District Executive Committee is requesting the Wiconi tribe authorize a tax-exempt loan for a brick-and-mortar building to be approved and set up for construction bids, following all relevant Wiconi tribe rules and regulations. Now therefore be resolved that the Pass Creek District Executive Committee is requesting approval of 2014 bond monies in the amount of $1 million for 2019-20 funds for development of a tribally owned enterprise convenience store for the Pass Creek District due to unmet need and emergency related services to benefit our tribal membership. And be it further resolved that the Pass Creek District representatives are hereby requested to present and support passage of this resolution and to table any adverse action necessary for the implementation of this resolution. Motion.
I got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Berkeley. Councilwoman Sears.
Yeah, I know that in the past that we all got Salazar dollars, to start economic development. And I believe back at that time, I was on council then. So I remember that Pass Creek came forward and opted out. They wanted to give the money out as a per capita payment. I think that now Pass Creek's coming forward and once, the $1 million, and I don't know where the who has oversight of all this money because we're not aware that there's $1 million available. And I would like to, at this time, table this and send it to Finance Committee so we can address this because this is tribal bond money that we need to discuss this in finance. So that's my motion.
I got a motion. Councilwoman Whitehurst.
Yes, thank you. This was discussed in EB&D committee, and it would be actually, the way it was approved in EB&D was to be a tribal, to use the funding to open a store, a tribal store like we have in Oglala, to provide services to Allen because Pass Creek is the only place besides Potato Creek that doesn't actually have a store. And so it was discussed in EB&D, and most of us in EB&D are also on finance. So we did approve it in EB&D to go forward. So So, I don't think it needs to be tabled. I think we just need to move forward with this.
Councilwoman Bearcooler, then Councilman.
Okay, so, this is not Salazar money. This is a part of the bricks and mortar bond that was passed in 2012, 2011. And, and this is the $1 million coming from that bond. And it's in with, the bonding company for the KOLC tribe. And that's how we represented it. We didn't say it was district money or it was slated just for the district. But it's gonna be a tribal business, and the district is gonna build a store, all revenue, all employment, whatever, that's gonna be operated by the tribe. But the thing that we need out there is a store, a convenience store, gas station, we need a store out there. So, we brought it to committee, we discussed it, you know, it was, and the motion was to 2/3 it on here so that we could get it going. Because before 2020, we need to use that bricks and mortar bond money. So that's why I'm gonna ask you guys not to table it, but just move forward with it. Because it's a business for the tribe. And it doesn't have nothing against districts or whatever, it's a business for the tribe. That's what it is. Thank you.
Councilman Dillon?
You know, this money's been there since then. It was first earmarked for the store and wounded knee, but the community came together and said they didn't want it. It was moved to the command house, but they didn't use it. And so now the window's closing on these dollars. We either use them or lose them. And I know this is no benefit for my district, but it is a benefit for one of our districts. And so I'm in support of it, and I think we should run the vote and see what happens.
Thank you, Councilman Dillon. Councilman Jumperino.
Just real quick, I say it again, when someone brings something from their district, we question them all the time. You know, let's support them, let's support our districts, instead of trying to put a stop to them all the time. That's all I have to say.
Councilwoman Merdanian.
I'm for empowering our districts. I'm for self-determination. I'm for all of the above. However, I'm also for the tribe to look at self-determination and how we move forward financially. Now, this bond is for bricks and mortar. Well, you know, I wish this information was brought up and shared with all districts in regards to how we plan forward with resources that are available. The other thing is we've been waiting on monies for our high tunnels from BIA, that match, which is gonna impact all districts. But yet we're still sitting there because we had no resources. But now we know that there's resources available. I mean, why wasn't that communicated? Not only that, what are we doing about Cactus Flats? We bought that land. Now why aren't we building anything? Where's our business plan for that? That's tribal economic development. You know, so we really need to be thinking about how we're planning for this and how we're moving it forward. And if one district wants to move forward with the store, then is that a priority of how we develop Cactus Flats that benefits the overall? So, you know, these are things that we need to question and should have been discussed in committees before it was brought forward with a plan.
Thank you, Councilman Greenwald.
I'm all for storing Allen. You know, one of the things that I thought Allen's wish list was for that store, and that they were going to be working with Stephen Haynes on that. And that's why he's out in your district today, was to take a look at that area. And so, if I knew that you guys wanted to use that bond on something and it was going to make money and it was economic development, I would have had you guys jump all over Sioux Nation. Because Sioux Nation would have paid that bond back in 1 year. You're probably over 10 million comes into Sioux Nation a year. But now we're going to use it on a smaller store. And the thing about this being a tribal enterprise is that money's going to come to the tribe, and the tribe's going to keep that money and pay off that building or whatever through that bond. When this other project is a district project, the district would have been, you know, handling everything from the beginning to the end, the payoff, everything. So rather you do a bond and it's the tribes now, and we'll own it, we'll take the money for that, when it could have been the district project, and the district could have made the money and kept it. Either way, they need a grocery store, and if this is the way you guys want to do it, Lydia, us do that bond and not through Stephen Haynes, and hey, I'm willing to bring money into the tribe, and just let the district know that it's a tribal building, it's not the district's, it's gonna be a district enterprise, or tribal enterprise.
I guess that's really well informed that it's a tribal business. The district has no authority, no say, no concern. And every revenue that's made off of it is gonna come back to the tribe. And you guys, we all go to Winnebago, to go see, what's his name, every year. Who? Vance Morgan. Yeah. And what he told us and how they started out was those little convenient gas stations in every corner of on their reservation. And look where they're at today. So that's what we should be looking at. It is a tribal business. It's coming back. Everything's coming here. District has we tried, and Bud May put a request in, got it, couldn't get it off the ground. Miss Whitelands and her husband took a run at it and couldn't get it off the ground, and the district tried, but there was no, I guess, a resource of money to renovate the whole thing, get it all going, set up and moving. But the tribe has the revenue, so all we're asking is that, let's get it open, the tribe gets all the benefits, whatever, the tribe operates it. So it's a tribal business, not a district. So the district resolution states that, and so does the resolution come from EB&D. So it is a tribal business.
Thank you, Councilman Wilson.
Everybody said what I need to say. Let's go.
Thank you, Councilwoman Whitehorse.
This was discussed at length in committee, and Ivan did come in and make a report on the Cedar, what is it? Cactus Flats. And he's moving forward. He's working for committee and moving forward. And I think that I think we just need to move forward with this now. I mean, there was people in here who said a roll of toilet paper. People are selling the goods from their houses, and a roll of toilet paper is $5. $5. Could you imagine paying $5 for a roll of toilet paper? Oh yeah, and $1 for one stick of cigarette. That's crazy. These people have no services. The closest place is Martin. We just need to move forward now.
Councilwoman Taffy.
I'll pass. Just run the vote.
Councilwoman Sears, and then I'm gonna run your table motion.
Okay, I know they need a store, but I also know that finance is over all funds. And that's the process we always followed. It looks like we're just bypassing that again. Every time we turn around, we pass the finance committee on these kind of actions, because we're not aware that there was $1 million sitting there, because we have districts too. We have districts that should have a say on what, where that money goes, because I'll be advocating for my district. And also, is Gary Roos here? The Wapamani district does have their portion. Is that any way going to impact our portion of the bond money?
No, ma'am. Your district still has approximately $145,000 that you haven't spent, and that needs to be spent also. That was to be spent within 3 years after 2014. All of the money was. And there's 2 piles of money left. There's the Wapamani district money that hasn't been spent, and there's this money that was originally allocated for a Wounded Knee store, and then it got reallocated for the food warehouse. And some money has been spent of this bond money for the food warehouse. But over the last 2 to 3 years, there's been several directors, and then it's been on and it's been off, and then it's been partially going to Wombly and partially to Pine Ridge. And I did attend a meeting, in fact, 2 or 3 meetings in the last month with Pat Ross and I forget the gentleman's name that is out at the food warehouse now, but they are planning on, you know, using some of this money or using it all if something else doesn't happen. But it's been off and on for the last 2 or 3 years. And approximately a week ago, I was called and asked if there's still this $1 million sitting there. I said, yes, it is. And I get calls, and I've reported this to finance and to EB&D several times, that the bonding company is asking you to spend the money. It was supposed to be spent in 2017. Each year we pay a small penalty for the unused portion of the bond. And they've asked me again, as recently as 2 weeks ago, is there any chance that this money will get spent in the year 2019 so we don't have to carry it over again to 2020? And at that time, I told them that I couldn't speak for the Wiconi district, but the food warehouse was working on some plans. But then, like I said, I was called last week and asked if this money would be available. The answer is yes, and it does have to be used for bricks and mortar, some type of a building. It can't be used for operating expense or anything miscellaneous. It's got to be used for a building. That's the way it was originally intended. And it's a tax exempt bond, and that's why it's got to be used for bricks and mortar or a structure.
Thank you,
I
Mr. Rose.
still have the floor. I just wanted to ask that question. And also, you know, our district, you know, the 150,000 that we did get out of that bond, that's just a small portion of $1 million, you know, and I believe that our districts need to support our own districts also, because we have that need too, to move forward and try to use it for economic development for our districts also. And I do know that there's a board of directors, that's the corporation that's going to be coming up here in council. So where does that lead? You know, if we're doing businesses and we're just giving it out to a district without, you know, when we pass this, I believe that we should utilize this so they can start planning and helping every district with economic development, getting businesses going. And I think that's the intent, is to provide them with dollars. And now we're going to come up with dollars to fund this. That's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you. I got a tabling motion on the floor. No second.
I did.
Oh, I guess I got a second now. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple. Glenn Gibbons.
No.
Lydia Bearkiller.
No.
James Cross.
No.
Jackie Sears.
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulance.
Yes.
Craig Dillon.
No.
Cora Whitehorse.
No.
Valentina Merdanian. Ryan Jumping Eagle.
No.
Bo Little White Man.
No.
Chancey Wilson.
No.
Philip Goodcrow.
No.
Randy Leisband.
No.
Richard Greenwald. Richard Greenwald.
No.
Robin Tapio.
No.
Motion to table, 3 yes, 11 no, and 1 not voting. Motion failed. Councilman Cross, that's a motion?
Yep, no, there's no motion for the resolution.
And a second by Councilwoman Beckler. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple. Glenn Gibbons.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Jackie Sears.
Yeah.
Vincent Tulance.
No.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse. Yes. Valentina Merdanian.
Yeah.
Ryan Jumping Eagle.
Yes.
Bo Little White Man.
Yes.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
No.
Randy Leisband.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
11 yes, 3 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Thank you, Tribal Council. So, the attorney has a drafted council resolution. Do you want him to read that now?
You know, I guess, this bond came, like we said, you know, 2011 or somewhere around there. Okay, but every district got some of the bond money. And this is what was left over out of that bond that was supposed to go to build a store in Wounded Knee. So, and nobody wants it. Nobody in Wounded Knee wants it where the location was, and they lost some money on the EIS and all those. And that's why when it came here, the other need is our district needs a store too. And like, Chauncey was saying, maybe Bush's was buy us all out, and make the money, but you know, the tribe can set these up and build up too. That's economic development. So every district got it, and whatever they did with their district monies, that's, you know, them. I know a small portion of our bond money went to build that youth center that's in our district. There was a match come in, and that's where we put our bond money, was to build that youth center. So we did do it, and it did come, you know, EB&D, we knew about it. Finance knew about it, because Gary Roos makes that report. Every casino meeting, it comes up by Gary Roos. So I'm not saying that we didn't know about it, you know. I'm just saying that there's a need, and if the tribe could set up an economic development program, like Lance Morgan and them did, we could do it too. But we gotta work together. It's always like not trying to divide and conquer, but that's what it sounds like. But that's not what that bond money was for. Tell me.
Councilman Cross.
If the resolution's ready, you know, the chair read it,
Mr. Gunn, will you read that resolution,
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council appropriating $1 million from the 2014 tax exempt bond for a convenience store in Allen. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. Section 5123, and under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Tribal Council has the authority under Article 4, Section 1F of the Tribal Constitution to manage the economic affairs of the tribe. And whereas in the exercise of this power, the Tribal Council enacts this resolution to appropriate $1 million from the 2014 tax-exempt bond for the development, construction, and operation of a convenience store in Allen for the Pass Creek District, consistent with Resolution Number 19-01A of the Pass Creek District Executive Committee, and whereas the convenience store and building will be owned and operated by the Oglala Sioux Tribe, not the Pass Creek District, and whereas the Tribal Council withdraws its prior appropriation of funds from the 2014 tax-exempt bond for a food warehouse. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tribal Council hereby appropriates $1 million from the 2014 tax-exempt bond for the development, construction, and operation of a convenience store in Allen for the Pass Creek District, with the understanding and subject to the condition that the convenience store and building will be owned and operated by the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council authorizes and directs the Tribal President and Tribal Treasurer to execute all documents necessary to carry out this resolution.
Motion.
Got a motion and a second by Councilwoman Bearkiller, motion by Councilman Cross. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Jackie Sears,
Yeah.
Vincent Tulens,
No.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian,
Yeah.
Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Robin Capio,
Yes.
11 yes, 3 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Thank you, Tribal Council. Back to Councilman Whitehorse of the Finance Committee.
Thank you. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the selection of Delta Dental for the Oglala Sioux Tribe Group self-funded dental insurance. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Section 1L of the Constitution gives the Tribal Council the power to delegate its enumerated powers to subordinate boards or officers, reserving the right to review their actions taken by virtue of such delegated power. And whereas the Finance Committee is the standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council and has been delegated the power to oversee financial matters relating to on behalf of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe offers certain benefits for its employees and has authorized the Benefits Committee to solicit, review, and make recommendations for the selection of benefits for the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees. And whereas the Benefits Committee received a proposal from selected Delta Dental for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group self-funded dental insurance. And whereas on September 6, 2019, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved the selection of Delta Dental for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group self-funded dental insurance, and to be forwarded to the Tribal Council for final approval. And whereas the Tribal Council agrees with the foregoing recommendation of the Finance Committee and has determined that it is in the best interest of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees to select Delta Dental for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group self-funded dental insurance. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby approves selection of Delta Dental for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group self-funded dental insurance. Motion to approve.
I got a motion, second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbon,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulens,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Goodcrow, Randy Laisbed,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Robin Capio,
Yes.
Twelve yes, 3 not voting, motion carried. Next item.
Thank you. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the selection of Forest County Potawatomi for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's group self-funded vision program. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Section 1L of the Constitution gives the tribal council the power to delegate its enumerated powers to subordinate boards or officers, reserving the right to review their actions taken by virtue of such delegated power. And whereas the Finance Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council and has been delegated the power to oversee financial matters relating to on behalf of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe offers certain benefits for its employees and has authorized the Benefits Committee to solicit, review, and make recommendations for the selection of benefits for the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees. And whereas the Benefits Committee received a proposal from and selected Forest County Potawatomi for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Group Self-Funded Vision Program. And whereas on September 6, 2019, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved the selection of Forest County Potawatomi for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Group Self-Funded Vision Program and to be forwarded to the Tribal Council for final approval. And whereas the Tribal Council agrees with the foregoing recommendations of the Finance Committee and has determined that it is in the best interest of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its employees to select Forest County Potawatomi for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Group Self-Funded Vision Program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby approves selection of the Forest County Potawatomi for the Oglala Sioux Tribe's Group Self-Funded Vision Program. Motion to approve.
Got a motion, second by Councilwoman Berkeley. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons,
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross, Jackie Sears, Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian, Ryan Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson, Philip Crow, Randy Lacebad,
Yes.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Robin Capio,
Yes.
12 yes, 3 not voting, motion carried. Next item.
Thank you. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the voluntary application of Social Security coverage to Tribal Council positions pursuant to the Tribal Social Security Fairness Act of 2018. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934. And under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas pursuant to the Constitution and bylaws of the Oglala Sioux Tribe, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council exercises legislative powers to enact and promulgate resolutions and ordinances. And whereas Article 4, Sections 1F, 1K, 1M, and 1W empower the Tribal Council to manage the economic affairs of the tribe, protect and preserve the property of the tribe, adopt laws governing the conduct of persons on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership. And whereas Article 4, Section 1A authorizes the Tribal Council to negotiate with federal, state, and local governments on behalf of the tribe and to advise and consult on behalf of the tribe. And whereas the Finance Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council and has been delegated the power to oversee matters relating to finance on behalf of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. And whereas the Tribal Social Security Fairness Act of 2018 allows tribes to extend Social Security coverage to Tribal Council positions voluntarily through an irrevocable agreement with the Social Security Commissioner under Section 218A of the Social Security Act. And whereas such coverage would apply to current and future Tribal Council members and cannot be terminated once granted. And whereas on September 12, 2019, by motion and vote, the Finance Committee approved submitting this resolution to the Tribal Council to approve the voluntary application of Social Security coverage for tribal council pursuant to the Tribal Social Security Fairness Act of 2018. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council voted unanimously to approve the voluntary application of Social Security coverage to tribal council positions. I think that was supposed to say Finance Committee. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Finance Committee voted unanimously to approve the voluntary application of the Social Security coverage to tribal council positions. Now therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby approves the voluntary application of Social Security coverage to tribal council positions pursuant to the Tribal Social Security Fairness Act of 2018. Be it further resolved that the OST Legal Department is authorized and directed to take all action necessary to negotiate and finalize an agreement with the Commissioner of Social Security under Section 218A for the Social Security Act in order to effectuate this resolution. Be it further resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby delegates the authority to approve such final agreement to the Executive Committee. Yeah.
Question.
Councilwoman Tapio?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can we retro that back to our first term on council? Just kidding. Wishful thinking, because some of us been here a long time and we haven't paid any social security at all. Just a thought. Thank you.
The fairness, the act is attached to the resolution if anybody needs to read it. But with that, motion to approve.
With amendments.
I got a motion with a second by Councilwoman Tapio. Madam Secretary, call for the vote, please.
Garfield Apple,
Yes.
Glenn Gibbons, Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes, you bet.
Jackie Sears,
Uh-huh.
Vincent Tulin,
Yes.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Cora Whitehorse,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Brian Jumping Eagle,
Yes.
Bo Little White Man,
Yes.
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Philip Big Pearl,
Oh.
Randy Laisbed,
No.
Richard Greenwald,
Yes.
Robin Tapio.
Yes.
10 terms now.
13 yes, 1 no, 1 not voting, motion carried. Next item, please. Councilman Jumping Eagle. I think he's trying to motion to adjourn. Councilwoman Whitehorse.
Okay, E and D, E and F. They're either or ordinances. So one of them is specific to a program and one is across the board. So did you want me to read both of them before action is taken? Or did you want me to just read one?
Councilwoman Bearkiller.
Okay, so Cora, on this, I don't know how many times they came back to council and those recommended changes, right?
Yep.
Okay, so today, that is not happening. And I don't know, and the director's jumping through hoops, doing all this and that to try to comply with the ordinance that we put out there. And today, it's not happening. So I think we need to bring that personnel director in here and ask her what the problem is and why this body made a law to help this program, and one director could stop the whole enforcement of that resolution. So I think we need her here, and we need that language in that ordinance in order for it to be done. I think we should be done. This is the body, the legislators that make that law. And yet, they're using small words to stop the enforcement of that. So I think we need her here when you read F. And she needs to define and tell us why and how she gets to stop what the council's actions are.
Thank you,
I need
Council.
answers.
Thank you, Councilwoman Berkeley. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break. The secretary's gonna get her here just so we're not going forth and back.
Okay, I just wanted to explain that I did have that conversation with her. And, the action that we were discussing was at the personnel policy, working session. So the council didn't actually approve that. That's still forthcoming as soon as the attorneys are done putting in all the changes. So.
Let's change that part today.
So time now is 15:46. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. By that time, she should be here. Also, Tribal Council, those of you that came in late, Councilman Yellowhawk was notified that he lost his daughter last night. So we passed around. We're taking donations. If anybody wants to help him out, he's journeying down to the south to deal with that. We do. Yeah, so we're fixing a send us to get wired to him on the break. So if anybody wants to contribute, if not, that'll be sent over. We're at $240 for him right now.